it would be nice to turn my mic on. Hello, Shoot Style Sauna people. It's Papa Steam breaking my hiatus. I want to give a quick announcement. I am the one doing the Slammiversary review, but I just want to give a quick update on everything. I've moved. I'm still setting up the studio, but I am the only one that can call Impact Action, really, for the channel. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this review, and then I'm going to go back to hiatus. But I will have my mind. Don't mind that. My next Shoot Style Sauna stream is going to be August 2nd, which is a Sunday. I am doing a special episode of The Writer's Room because I'm sure you've missed that series. Watch the previous 3 episodes if you got time. But this was requested as a meme, but I decided to book Scott Steiner in WWE. No Steiner math involved. But I just wanted to announce that I will be back at the beginning of the month. Also in the beginning of the month, head on over to twitch.tv/thesteamdream or youtube.com/steamdream to watch me play some video games and Dungeons and Dragons and all that shit. And also, Shoot Style Sauna merch store, Steam Dream merch store, all that will be set up for an August 1st drop. It's going to be, once I get the links all set up, I will send it out, but they will be made through Teespring, so be on the lookout for that. Anyways, I'm going to get my face out of here because I look disgusting, and on with the review. Alright, hello, Shoot Style Sauna people, and welcome back to another pay-per-view review. I just finished watching Slammiversary 2020. First of all, it was great. If you're going to watch one Impact show at all this year, watch this one. But it just happened today as of recording, July 18th at Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee, with a crowd of nobody because fuck Big Rona. They've been teasing a lot of, former WWE talent and saying a lot of former world champions are going to show up, and it really built that hype of, who's going to show up. The main event has a mystery man, as you can see. Who's going to show up. That was kind of the big talk, and I saw a lot of even non-Impact fans wanting to tune in because, holy cow, what's going to happen, right? So, incredible opening package, talking about, all the former world champions that have come out of Impact, Mike Kanellis, EC3, Eric Young, James Storm, Mr. Anderson, Bully Ray, D'Lo, all those guys. You're really talking about the prestige of TNA and Impact immediately, which is great, which is what I love out of Impact. So, first match of the night is a Rascals Open Challenge. They had announced it officially yesterday, and Dez and Wentz come out, and they're like, who's gonna face them? And is none other than Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns. I won't lie to you. I popped a bit because I was thinking, the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, because they'd officially announced they signed 2-year deals with Impact. I figured, hey, they're going to answer the challenge. They did not. I was so excited for this match. And this match was great. Alex Shelley and Wentz get a great wrestling back and forth, pure athleticism, and the same with Chris Sabin and Dez. It was just incredibly fast-paced tandem tag team offense, especially with the Rascals early on, but later on, Motor City Machine Guns, their offense is so fluid and just goes so fast that it's so great to watch. Wentz hits a handspring jumping knee to Alex Shelley. It's a hot tag to Dez with that sweet little innovative head scissors move. He's a house of fire. Drop kick, almost, and hits that moonsault drop kick that Paul London used to do. Almost lands on the top of his head. But Rascals have that dual corner assault. There's a super kick, double stomp combo to a 2 count. Wentz hits a apron and code breaker onto Alex Shelley. Hits a swanton, but Shelley pops the knees up. Big German to Dez. Motor City Machine Gun just go on just a strike fest and do that weird double flip suplex thing into the closest 2 count I've ever seen. They hit the ASCS rush and the dirt bomb. Motor City Machine Guns get the win over the Rascals in an incredibly fast-paced, high-octane match. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I think it was an excellent way to start. I think it was incredible. I think it was fast paced. It was just constant action for, I don't even think the match was really that long. It was only 15 minutes, but it felt fantastic. 4 stars, great match to start. And then commentary and the people in the back, they're trying to interview, like, where are the Good Brothers? Where are the Doc and the Machine Gun? Seeing everyone just kind of like, have you seen them? Have you seen them? I have not seen them. Next up, for the not really the title, the TNA World Title, not the actual World Title, we have an old school rules match. Moose defending against Tommy Dreamer. So at Rebellion, what was supposed to happen was a 3-way for the Impact World Title, which was... Why am I dropping frames? Thank you, Internet. 3-way match was supposed to happen for the World Title, which was supposed to be Tessa, Michael Elgin, and Eddie Edwards, but Tessa is straight up no-showed, and also fuck Tessa. So Michael Elgin said, I'm going to leave with the World Championship. Moose came out with the old TNA title, and he beat Michael Elgin and Hernandez in a 3-way match in that main event. If you haven't seen my Rebellion review, check it out. I'm going to reference it quite a bit tonight. So since then, Moose proclaimed himself to be the TNA World Champion because there was no World Champion in Impact for a while. So he defended against all the TNA originals. He defended against Hernandez, defended Suicide, and even Crazy Steve. And then Tommy Dreamer comes out, and Moose just starts wailing on Dreamer. Dreamer cuts this interesting promo saying that, Moose, you have great God-given talent, but you have no passion for wrestling. You want to be a pro athlete, and you failed in the NFL. Get fucked, but you're a waste of talent. You've never won a title, even though he's won the Grand Championship twice. Okay, but Moose is like, I'm gonna sue him and Impact as a whole unless he apologizes, and they go back and forth, and then we get this match. Yeah, Dreamer comes out wearing a Moose Sucks Eggs t-shirt, reference to Terry Funk. Shout out to Terry Funk, great guy. And Moose comes out with the old school TNA title with a new white strap, which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fuck with it. It's kind of nice. Slow, methodical action to start. Moose does the scariest looking kip up that looks so athletic. Goes for a suicide dive, but trash can lid to Moose's dome by Dreamer. Starts choking him with a Cincinnati Reds jersey. Shout out to Cincinnati. Suplex by Moose onto the stage. Dreamer jumps from the mid rope, and Moose just decks him with a dropkick that actually kicks him right in the face. And for the rest of the match, you can see a boot print on Dreamer's face, and it looks incredibly crazy. Moose runs up the rope like Shelton Benjamin, tries to hit the crossbody, but Dreamer hits a cutter on the trash can, then goes to the outside and grabs a tiny little bag of thumbtacks. Moose low blows him right in the nads, tries to push his face in the tacks while he's screaming about ECW. There's a trademark there, I'm thinking. Dreamer tries to fight out of it, but Moose just grabs his face, slams it head and hands first into the tacks, lights out spear, Moose with a definitive win. And this was a match. I'm gonna give it 1.5 stars. It is the weakest match of the night, but it didn't do a lot. Moose has been on this train of just beating up legends and TNA originals, and I'm really waiting to see where this is going. I'm hoping this gets further. I'm hoping Moose gets into an actual world title feud with whoever wins this main event, which I will talk about later, but based on what happened tonight, doesn't look fucking likely. Next up, we have a Knockouts #1 contender gauntlet match. They kind of do this like Royal Rumble style, where you start with 2, and then after I think it was like a minute or 2, more people come out. So you start with Tasha Steelz, formerly from the NWA. Shout out to Stell, who watches NWA, and Smiley Kylie Ray. It's going out at number 3 is John E. Bravo, dressed up as Taya Valkyrie, with entrance and earmuffs and all, and holy cow, it's funny. I won't lie, I got a bit of a chuckle out of it. But he's eliminated by Steelz and Ray immediately. Number 4 is Kimberly. She's got that big Hawset power. Great delayed vertical with Kylie Ray. Number 5 is Kiera Hogan. Goes right after Ray, and she aligns with her best friend Tasha Steelz. Kimberly tries to join in and like jam on and be like, yeah, we're all friends, but absolutely not. Number 6 is Susie, formerly Sue Young. Her entrance is really creepy and weird and cool, but it's like her character work right now is out of this world. Holds on to the Arachneurotic and Kylie Rae super kick, eliminating Tasha Steelz. Tasha Steelz the first one gone. Number 7 is Katie Forbes, the girlfriend of one Robert Van Daubert, Rob Van Dam, and the announcers said she was from Twerk City, which I didn't like that at all. I felt gross. Katie Forbes is to me, she's not a great wrestler, but holy cow, it was not fun in the slightest. Number 8 is Madison Rayne, who still looks great. She has a good House of Fire, has a couple beautiful people references. That's cool. Number 9 is Jessica Havoc, who just goes and murders everybody. Number 10 is Taya Valkyrie for realsies this time, coming out dressed as Captain Hook. Super fun. She goes right after Jessica Havoc, and they start going at it. Number 11 is Alicia Edwards, and off-camera Taya eliminates Katie Forbes. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I was off-camera, because who really needed to see that? Kylie Rae tries to like military press Alicia Edwards, but Havoc gets behind her and like helps her do it, and Kylie Rae just starts celebrating like she did it, but just throws Alicia into Kylie Rae. It was kind of funny. I liked it. Number 12 is Nevaeh, and her and Havoc, they're like tag partners. She does this like double STO DDT move, and then they do tag action with Havoc. It's kind of fun. I think it was interesting. Number 13 is Rosemary, and immediately spears the shit out of Susie, and Susie is eliminated. And then Johnny Bravo returns dressed as Rosemary. Again, it was stupid and silly, but it was comedy. But Bravo goes ahead and eliminates Jessica Havoc. That's fucked up. And Kylie Rae eliminates Bravo and Madison Rayne. Kimberly and Nevaeh fight on the apron, throws Nevaeh into a corner full of people, eliminating Nevaeh and Alicia Edwards based off the impact. Rosemary kicks Hogan right in the fucking teeth and eliminates her. So your final four is Taya Valkyrie, Kylie Rae, Rosemary, and Kimberly. Kylie Rae hits a sweet body scissors cutter and eliminates Kimberly. Rosemary locks Kylie Rae in the upside down, but Taya tries to eliminate Kylie Rae, but eliminates Rosemary by accident. Then the ref comes in. We got a one-on-one match. Kylie Rae and Taya Valkyrie. Who's going to be the number one contender? Now you have to pin them to win. It gets interesting, I know. Kylie Rae with the stiff Canadian Destroyer. Hits a super kick. Quick win. Kylie Rae is your number one contender. I give it 2.5 stars. I almost thought about giving it 3, but I think the action was just very slow to a point. And it just, at times it felt slow. Like it didn't, like towards the end, it picked up a lot, which I really like. Like it, my apologies, I am fixing something really quick. Like towards the end, it picked up a ton, but throughout the match it was kind of slow. But Kylie Rae, they're kind of pushing her to the moon right now, so I'm happy for it. After the match, before the next match, Heath Slater comes out and cuts a promo. Heath is now in Impact, I guess. He says, you know, I want in that fatal 4-way. He's interrupted by Rohit Raju. Comes out to try and, like, you know, get out of the way, buddy. But Raju gets dropped instantly. It's kind of funny, actually. Next up for the X Division Championship, it is Willie Mack, Chocolate Thunder, defending against the Ultimate Finesser, Dashing Chris Bay. Now, this match was the one that I was looking forward to the most. And if you remember from my Rebellion review, if you've seen it, and if you haven't, you're an asshole, I said this match was going to happen when Chris Bay won the Fatal 4-Way at Rebellion. I'm just saying, did I book it? No, but I could have. So, night 1 of Rebellion, Willie Mack won the X Division title from Ace Austin, and Chris Bay won that Fatal 4-Way with Raju, Suicide, and Trey. So Bay went backstage, and he aligned himself with Johnny Swinger, who is, besides Joey Ryan, the grossest man to exist ever. And they formed a very short tag team called the Finesse and Bench Press Express. I kid you not, that was the real name of that tag team. How fucking hilarious is that? So Swinger is like, I'm going to get you that X Division title shot. I'm going to be in your corner. And Chris Bay backstage throughout Impact was like, yeah, I'm just finessing this old dude. He's creepy as fuck. Fuck this guy. Swinger says, you know what? Management says I can't be in your corner. So suck a butt, kid. Bing, bang, boom. Hilarity. This match was the shortest match of the night. I just want to point that out. This match was 10 minutes flat. We got that? Cool. Match starts immediately. An insane back and forth athletics. Mac does sweeps the leg, Karate Kid style, hits a reverse cutter on the outside, gets inside, throws a standing moonsault by Willie Mack to a 2 count. They trade those jumping corner kicks. He tries for a super kick, but Chris Bay jumps off him, sweeps the legs out, so he's just sitting on the middle rope. And he does a slingshot sling blade to a 2 count. What I really love about this action, it, again, fast-paced, which is expected of the X Division, but with guys the size of Willie Mack going full speed, and then Chris Bay, who this is his first chance to really shine, it was great. Bay runs in the corner with the highest jumping uppercut I've ever seen, calls him Willie Whack, that's funny, slaps him in the face for realsies, and then Mac catches him in a coming off the corner in a big-ass spine buster, throws him in the corner, reverse corner senton, lands on his feet perfectly, exploder in the turnbuckle, 2 count. Chris Bay with a big jumping knee, drop kick, sunset flip, another 2 count. Mac hits the stunner, tries to go for the 6-star frog splash, hits Bay into the ref. Once he misses, he hits Bay into the ref. Was springboard crucifix bomb style thing by Bay, goes into an os cutter. I shit you not. It was straight up an os cutter. And Chris Bay pins and wins. Dashing Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, is your X Division champion. I'm also going to give this match 4 stars. I think even though it was the shortest match of the night, I think they crammed so much action that it makes the X Division feel that white hot. Which now, you have a lot of options to go with Chris Bay. You can have Willie Macko again. You can have, okay, fine, you can go Johnny Swinger if you really want. You shouldn't, but you can. You can have basically anyone who loses in the main event here. He's got the world, and I really think with the charisma that Chris Bay has, I think this X Division reign will last a while. He's got great talent, and he's got great charisma. It's going to work. After the match, we get fuck that bit. After the match, we get a quick backstage segment with Heath being like, hey, thanks, guys, and runs into Rhino, former tag partner. But Scott D'Amore, executive vice president, comes and says, hey, social distancing, you're not on staff. You can't be here, bitch. But Rhino says, don't worry, come back Tuesday. I promise I'll get you a job. Maybe Heath is going to sign with Impact. Just saying. Next up for the Impact Tag Team titles, we have the North defending against the team of Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan. A weird team, I know. How did we get here, you might be asking? Well, I will tell you, audience. On March 17th episode of Impact, there's leading up to it, there's this mysterious ICU hacker, kind of like how WWE did the hacker, but they dropped it because they thought it was fucking silly. But the hacker turned out to be Sami Callihan's new gimmick, just kind of like this tech freak, just watching over everything and whatever. And he launched a fireball into the face of Ken Shamrock. Your ears are correct, and you heard that. So they had an unsanctioned fight at Rebellion. Shamrock tapped Callihan out into an ankle lock. And then they have this weird animosity towards each other, and they have issues going on with one another. And then that's when the North came back, and they started defending their tag titles against the Deaners, and then Dez and Wentz of the Rascals. And there was one match they were having where no one was watching, and instead they were watching Ken Shamrock in his greatest hits on Impact Plus because he's the new Hall of Fame inductee. So Ethan Page cuts his promo about, why are you watching this has-been instead of watching the greatest tag team that Impact has, right? And then the match was made for Slammiversary, and a lot of people were asking, can Callihan and Shamrock coexist. The walking weapon, Josh Alexander, goes right to Shamrock, takes him to the ground immediately, which is a bold choice if you've ever met Ken Shamrock ever. It was slow to start, but decent double team action. Hot tag Sami Callihan, who is a speed and strength demon for a man of his size. Also, just wanted to point out, Ethan Page's selling is super hilarious, and he taunts Ken and Sami throughout the match. I think Ethan Page was my favorite part of this match by far. Double head kick by Callihan and Page as they kick each other. Everyone is down for a bit. Dual hot tag, but Shamrock just goes right at both of them. Double team crucifix bomb by the North to a 2 count. Shamrock with a giant belly to belly to Alexander over the rope. Ethan Page screams, "I'm the Karate Man." Tries to go for a head kick, but Shamrock catches him in an ankle lock. Josh Alexander catches Sami Callihan in an ankle lock. Callihan breaks out of it, hits a cutter. Shamrock gets the ankle lock on Alexander, and Page throws Sami Callihan into him, but Shamrock thinks that Sami Callihan caused the breakup by himself, so they start shoving it out a bit. Callihan hits the GTS and the Cactus Special onto Ethan Page, and Ken just watches for a bit. He doesn't stop Alexander from trying to break up the pin. He just kind of stands there. Shamrock misses a head kick on the apron and hits Callihan square in the eyes. Shamrock with a super belly-to-belly suplex. Alexander rolls the outside like the smart man that he is. Tries to go for a suicide dive. Looks fucking terrible and misses it. But double neutralizer and the North retain. The North retain the tag titles. I'm going to give this 2 stars out of 5. It wasn't great by a lot, but watching the North fight is always fun. But after the match, they cut a promo posting about how great they are as a tag team, and in comes the Motor City Machine Guns. They say, you know what? You guys never beat us. This Tuesday for the Impact Tag titles, it's going to be the North and the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm fucking hyped for that. Also after the match, they're trying to get an interview with the Good Brothers, but they run into Rich Swann, still on crutches. And he's like, you know what? When I'm fully healed up, I want an Impact World title shot. Whoever wins tonight, I want to be the first man that challenges them. Bing, bang, boom, big money moves. In your semi-main event of the evening, for the Knockouts title, it is Jordynne Grace defending against Deonna Purrazzo. Now, Deonna Purrazzo made her return to Impact on the June 9th episode and immediately attacked Jordynne Grace after she defended against Taya, so it kind of pushes Deonna to just this monumental level. They're like, well, I'm going right after the champ. Money moves. And so they've had a big war of the words, even going on the Busted Open podcast, and they've been, fighting each other backstage, and Deonna's locking in this Fujiwara armbar, which is like the big story. Is that can she lock it in? Can she take out the arm of Jordynne Grace that is needed for the Grace driver? Well, we will see. During Deonna's entrance, this stuck out to me because this was just a bold choice on commentary. Don Callis said Deonna finally did her time in the Stamford Supermax, meaning WWE, and I think that's bold. I think that's a bold strategy, Cotton, because are you allowed to straight up just say Stamford, mention their headquarters in Stamford? Because I actually don't know. But you know what? Calling him out like that and saying it's a prison, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays off for him. For some reason, this match started out really slow. It's a very slow hoss fight, and for some reason, Deonna looks gassed pretty immediately, but then it does start to pick up, so you get a decent pin sequence, and Deonna immediately just starts working on the arm. A lot of mat work. Grace catches Deonna in a rear naked choke immediately into a failed pin. Then does the bow and arrow stretched on the turnbuckle to Deonna, and that was fun. Grace catches Deonna in a Grace driver to a 2 count. I don't know how she's already kicking out of finishers. It's a choice. They start strike festing the shit out of each other. Grace slams Deonna constantly. Then Deonna hits a German suplex. Then Jordynne Grace hits a German suplex. Deonna hits the pendulum to a 2 count. Jordan Grace hits her combination of the shotgun corner knees, hits the Vader bomb to another 2 count, but Deonna grabs the arm, goes for the Fujiwara, but then grabs the other arm, hits that double Fujiwara armbar, and Jordan Grace verbally submits. And Deonna Purrazzo wins the Knockouts title on her first shot and her debut pay-per-view return, my apologies, to Impact. Deonna Purrazzo is your new Knockouts champion. Did I like the decision? Not really, but that's just me. That's just my personal thoughts. I'm not going to hate you for thinking Deonna. At the rest of the Shoots Out Sauna people who all picked Deonna Purrazzo, y'all are dicks. I will give the match 3 stars out of 5. You know what? I won't lie. I didn't like it at the beginning. I really didn't, and it picked up. It wasn't great towards the end, but it was decent. It was female Hoss wrestling, and I guess just me personally, it wasn't my style. But I thought it was fine. I'm intrigued to see where Deonna Purrazzo goes, and I think this new rivalry that they're starting with Deonna Purrazzo and Kylie Ray is going to be very interesting. I'm curious to see where Jordan Grace goes from here. Maybe more work with Taya. Maybe Jordan Grace can go with Rosemary. I don't know. It leaves a lot of questions for me. In your main event of the evening, as you can see on the logo for today's review, it is in Fatal 4-Way elimination match for the vacant Impact World Championship. It is Trey from the Rascals, Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin accompanied by Madman Fulton, and a mystery opponent that we don't know yet. How did this come to happen? So Tessa Blanchard was the Impact World Champion, and then Tessa Blanchard got called out for doing garbage things and basically got binned. And so she decided to hold the title hostage, like an asshole. So, and TNA execs were like, hey, defend the title or we're stripping you of it. Tessa basically said, go fuck yourself. And so she was fired, and the title was stripped away from her because what was supposed to happen was a 5-way between Ace, Eddie, Trey, Tessa, and Michael Elgin. But Michael Elgin and Tessa both got fired. Now we have a vacant world title, and we have this 4-way. So this was where all the talk was. It was that who is going to be the 4th. During the entrances, Ace is accompanied by Madman Fulton. He now calls himself the Inevitable instead of, just the Ace. This is just me, but Trey has had the best character work out of these 3 definitive people. And you can see that especially in the video package that I do right before this. The passion that he talks with, and especially just wanting to kick the shit out of Ace Austin, especially with their very heated rivalry. And if you haven't seen Hard to Kill from this past January, where it was Ace Austin and Trey for the X Division title, go watch that match, because that match was also outstanding. But yeah, and then Eddie Edwards talking about he's been world champion before, and then, so they're all waiting for the 4th, and it's Rich Swann. He is fully healed, and he is ready to fight, so he is the 4th. But wait, this match is actually a 5-way, because out comes a returning Eric Young, the Maniac. He comes out and he says, I'm a former world champion. You're in my ring. This is my world. It's a 5-way now. First of all, that's tight. Second of all, Eric Young is Impact's version of Daniel Bryan. You can't tell me otherwise. And C, I'm now more hyped for this match. Right as the bell rings, Trey immediately goes at Ace Austin, and they just throw each other outside, which is still great storytelling. And they just go at it, and Fulton starts going at it. Eric Young and Eddie Edwards get right at each other, and Swann just kind of goes around everywhere for pure athleticism. Rich Swann and Trey have what I call an athletic dick measuring contest, which is just who can be the most athletic at all. And it is super fast paced, and there's so much happening, so many counters and reversals, and so much action. Eddie tries to hit a suicide dive on Ace, but Madman Fulton catches him, hits an apron chokeslam, and the ref throws him out. And Ace says, hey, you can't do that, guy. And the ref says, well, actually, if he won't leave, I'll just take you out of the match, bitch. And it's like, all right, cool. I get it. That's my bad. Eddie Edwards catches Rich Swann, power bombs him onto EY. Springboard cutter by Rich Swann onto Ace Austin, but Eddie catches Rich Swann on the Blue Thunder bomb. Constant fast pace. Trey and Ace still going at each other, and this time they just stand in the middle of the ring. and they just swing at each other for realsies, and they just go at it. And it is the greatest visual of this match, probably, except for later shit, which I'll get to. Trey does this knee slide Canadian Destroyer on the outside to Rich Swann, and holy cow, that landing fucking sucked. Eric Young is immediately cut above his eye real early. I didn't see from what move exactly, but he's cut and he starts bleeding kind of a bit. It gets stopped quickly, which thank God, but a little scary right there. This sequence, Eddie Edwards hits a Tiger Driver onto Ace. Trey hits the Meteora onto Eddie. And then Trey gets caught in a pile driver from Eric Young, and Trey is the first one eliminated. Great sequence. And whenever Eric Young talks, he still sounds like he smokes 3 packs a day. It's kind of funny to me. Then Eric Young gets this methodical sequence with Rich Swann. Tries to go for this like top rope like neck breaker, but Rich Swann pulls out of it and goes into a counter bulldog. Powerbombing Swann into Ace Austin and Eddie, which sends him flying through a timekeeper table. EY tries to pile drive with Swann, who is just, he's out of it. He looks completely bipped at this point, but he counters it, wins the roll up. Eric Young is the next one eliminated, but he goes right after Swann's surgically repaired knee, grabs a chair, stomps on it, smashes against the turnbuckle, screaming, "You brought this on yourself in my world." Could we be seeing a feud there? I sure hope so. Rich Swann is like screaming in blood-curdling pain from this. Ace tries to go for a figure 4 but misses. He hits the fold on Rich Swann and eliminates him. So we're down to Eddie Edwards versus Ace Austin. This was a fun rivalry from last year. They trade heavy blows. Eddie is sending chops like a madman, pun intended. Ace goes for the fold, but Eddie hits a giant belly-to-belly suplex into the corner. Boston Knee Party to a 2 count. Ace hits the fold to a 2 count. Eddie counters immediately into another Boston Knee Party and the Die Hard Flosion, and Eddie Edwards wins the World Championship. Look, if there is one match that you watch from this entire show, it's this one. And I'm not kidding you with that. I really think you should watch this match. It is 25 minutes of just beauty. 5 stars from me. And I think this is the first time on the pay-per-view review segment that a match has been given 5 stars. I think the only other time was at Revolution with the tag title match. But I'm giving this match 5 stars. I think it was incredible. The action was consistent, incredibly fast-paced. There was a lot of storytelling with, Trey and Ace, and then can Eddie do it, and Eric Young's return, and Rich Swann coming back from injury, and then now is he injured again? There was a lot that happened, and I absolutely loved this match. Post-match, Madman Fulton returns and attacks the fuck out of Eddie, but in comes the Good Brothers. Finally, also great entrance music. Doc Gallows, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, they come out thinking that they're going to line up with Ace and Fulton to attack Eddie, but Anderson hits the gun stun on Ace and the Magic Killer and help out Eddie. Almost fades to black, but you see the 3 stripes, and on the Tron in this weird cinematic, you see Ethan Carter III, EC3, pour himself a drink, throw it against the wall, stare into the camera, and fade to black. Teasing Eddie Edwards and EC3. That's going to be fucking fun. My final grade for Slammiversary 2020 is an A-. I think there really was only one stinker on this fucking show, and that was Moose. Which is, it's sad because I love Moose, and Moose is a great talent, but that match was just rough. But everything else, even the stuff that wasn't like too great, still was like fun to watch, and it was entertaining. But yeah, I give the show an A-. My MVP is Eddie Edwards. He's finally the world champion again, and I'm excited for his reign. I'm excited for him to face EC3, or even, Ace again, or even Rich Swann, and just to see where that goes. Match of the night, absolutely the world title, 5 stars. Seriously, go check it out. But yeah, that concludes Slammiversary review. The next pay-per-view will be the Horror Show at Extreme Rules, done by Stell. But I'm going to return to my hiatus. This has been Papa Steam from the Shoot Style Sauna. I will see you in August.